cadiaN, I sadly do have to touch on the loss to EG because it was really not expected from you guys. And obviously, first game of the year, the rust, but you told me you'd spoken to the guys, you'd had this boot camp, you thought you'd kicked them into gear. So now you've looked at it. What on earth happened?
A lot of mistakes, missed smokes, missed Molotovs, miscommunication, a lot of mistakes. And there was a reason why I've been pretty harsh throughout the bootcamp is because some of these things hasn't been where they should be. I actually believe we had fixed more of them throughout the bootcamp, but sadly the game showed a different side of it. And EG played a good game, and it was 2 16-14 losses on the two maps, so it is what it is.
Do you think it's that if you played maybe on paper a tougher opponent that their mistakes wouldn't have happened? Do you think they relaxed a bit too much?
Not necessarily, but I think that, when you play a team that's lower in the rankings and that don't have the same experience, they play a bit of a different style of CS. And sometimes that can end up, you sometimes tend to think maybe that they are smarter than they actually are. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not meant in a bad way. It's just like there's a way that tier 1 and 2 teams play. And if you go out of that, I'm not saying it's better or worse, it's just different, and that can catch you off guard sometimes.
Some things you expect, some things you go, why the hell did that happen? Yeah. I get what you mean completely. Now, like you already mentioned to me, Astralis versus Heroic is a special matchup. It's a rival matchup, but do you feel more motivated, more excited when it comes to these games? Because even when I saw you just now, you looked more intense than yesterday.
Like I said, I think it's a bit of a special game. I think both teams really want to win it. To try and cement themselves as the best Danish team. Always nice, and the Danish fans are also clashing a lot these days with who they're cheering for. So, I think that it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a good game. First and foremost, I am actually really happy to see Device back. No matter the result of the game, I think that he's just such a big name. He's such a great player. He's done so much good for Counter-Strike. To have him back on the server, I think that's very important. I like it a lot. The Danish fans deserve to see a great player like him play. So I think that's the key part for me.
Now, you just mentioned about some of the fans maybe thinking like a game like this would decide who's the best or who's the not, but right now you are the Kings, and I don't think one game's going to decide that. You didn't lose to them at all last year. The last time you lost to them was full finals 21. So for you guys, this would be, I guess, a more tragic loss if you did lose?
Yes and no. I think that, it depends, like sometimes also when you look at like Shape, you are very narrow-minded, like you look at Blast, World Final, where we played with the config as a stand-in, we lost 2 games and then we lost the first one here, so in a way we are on a 3 loss streak as the number 1 team, but then again, if you look at like the games we play with Down, it's a bit of a different story, so I think like games like this one and the next one in this format will define where our shape is. So I'm looking pretty much forward to that. But also this format is kind of forgiving, not gonna lie. So a loss here and there, you can still make it through. But obviously today, I'm hoping to see a different kind of Heroic, the one that we're used to see.
Now, obviously, there's not much data, especially of them playing with Buzz, just 1 best of 3, which is 2 maps. With Device, a little bit more. But how much are you able to take away from that? Because Device has definitely changed style when it comes to this Astralis.
Yeah, they only played 2 maps with Buzz, so there's at least 4 maps where we don't know where he's playing and if they switch positions and stuff, and that's obviously an advantage going into a game, but it also means that there might be some insecurities because they haven't played together for that long. So it's a give and take kind of thing, and I guess we'll just have to look out where he is. He had a good start to the series last game against Vitality, but also had a bit of a tough time later on. But it's always difficult when you have to enter a team like this.
Definitely so. Now, obviously, Hunden is the analyst. He used to work with you guys. I just want to touch on the fact that would he still know some of your tendencies or some of the way you play, or has things changed too much since when he was back with you guys?
Yeah, I think he probably still knows some of them, but I'm not sure it's like in a way where they can gain that much from it.
Okay. So no worries there at all. That's a good sign. And in terms of looking at you guys' play styles of 2 different teams, Astralis, obviously, anything they can do here in getting a win is going to look good for them. For you guys, there's a lot of pressure on it. But are you worried at all? Are you nervous when it comes to this? Because I'm just from both of you. I spoke to you, I spoke to Glaive. I get this different vibe now I'm talking to you both.
Not nervous, but excited, Okay. I think that, why should all the pressure be on us? They want to win equally as much as we do, and they haven't done it for more than a year, so they're super hungry to do it. And I think now they also have a lineup they believe more in, so their chances are better. But we're excited to play the game, It's one of those games where you can feel a little bit of jitters in the beginning and stuff like this, and that's how it should be, That's competitiveness.
That's what we want to see, and there's a smile on your face at the end. So more confidence today. We feel like we're going to get the full Heroic.
I hope so.